my name is Kat, and today I will be doing my January wrap-up. So 2015 is off to a pretty solid start, at least reading-wise. I am attempting the 100 book challenge this year, and this month I managed to read 9 books. So quantity-wise, I'm doing pretty good. And quality-wise, I'm also doing pretty good. I happened to read some pretty great books in January. And now I want to talk to you guys about the books I read in January. So let's get into it. So first up, I have here Red Rising and Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. And this is the first and second book of the Red Rising trilogy. I'm not going to talk too much about these books right now because I did book talks about both of them. And the first few minutes of each one is spoiler free. So if you want to know more about these books, I will link those below. But I will say that I am really enjoying this trilogy so far. I love the world and the story in these books. Like, it's so cool and intricate and unpredictable. Like, these books will take you for one hell of a ride. I do have some trouble connecting to the main character, and at times I have trouble visualizing what's going on, but still, for the most part, these are very enjoyable books. They're thrilling and action-packed and surprising, and I do still definitely recommend checking them out. Next up, I have Bourne, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is another book that I'm not going to talk a lot about in this video because I already did a full book talk on it. Also, as it was the BOOKSPLOSION Book of the Month for January, there is a live show all about this book, so I'll link that below as well. Basically, I loved this book. It is one of the best books I've read in a very long time. From the world to the story to the characters, it was just amazing. And yes, I will be continuing the series. In fact, I have already started book 2 and I am already loving it. I know that the size of these books might be intimidating and all the hype surrounding them might have you a little bit wary, but the hype is justified. These books are fantastic. I so recommend them. Next up, I have These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. Now, even though I did not do a book talk for this book, I'm still not going to talk about it much in this video because it is the BOOKSPLOSION Book of the Month pick for February. We did viewer's choice this month and you guys voted for this and I had already read it, so I am just an overachiever, I guess. But yeah, since it is the book of the month, there will be a live show discussion, and I'm just gonna wait for that to share all of my thoughts. But I will say that I really enjoyed this book. I loved the two main characters and their dynamic together and the way their relationship progressed over the course of the story. And the mystery was super captivating and just kept me intrigued throughout the book. Now, there were some aspects of the ending that left me a little confused, so I am really looking forward to the live show discussion, and I will go ahead and put all of the info about the live show in the description in case you want to join our read-along this month. And next up, I read Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley. This is a graphic novel by the same author who wrote the Scott Pilgrim series, which I have not yet read, but after finishing this, I really want to. Seconds is about a young woman named Katie who is the chef at this restaurant called Seconds, and she has plans to open up her own restaurant. And then those plans kind of get derailed and just all sorts of things aren't going Katie's way, and she wants a do-over. So when a mysterious girl appears in the middle of the night and offers Katie a second chance, Katie takes it. But maybe that wasn't such a good idea. I absolutely adored this book. The art was awesome. The story was awesome. It was hilarious and relatable and touching, and it so good, so good. If you like graphic novels and you haven't yet read this, you need to. And if you're new to graphic novels and you're maybe looking for one to start off, this would be a great one. Next up, I have The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. This is a standalone paranormal novel about a girl named Hazel who lives in this town where humans and fae exist side by side. Having grown up in this town, Hazel is used to the fairies and also to the tourists that flock in to see them. The main attraction is this beautiful horned boy who's been sleeping in an unbreakable glass coffin in the middle of the forest for generations. But then he wakes up and all hell breaks loose. Holly Black is so good at writing standalone novels. Everything was wonderfully developed and satisfying in this single installment, like solid characters, good story, great world building. Like, I thought I wasn't a fan of fairy stories, but this has me questioning that because the world was just so cool and believable, and I loved it. Now personally, I would still recommend The Coldest Girl in Cold Town over this one, but if you liked The Coldest Girl in Cold Town and you want to read another fantastic standalone by Holly Black, this is the book for you. Next up, I have Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Brosh. Now I don't have a synopsis to share with you because this isn't a novel, it's more of a collection of humorous illustrated short stories, I guess is how I would try to explain this. Basically, this is the funniest thing I've read in ages. Like, this book is hilarious. It's so funny I was almost crying from laughing so hard. Like, laughing out loud. Literal lols. I've been a fan of Ali's blog for years and I just love her sense of humor. Really, the only negative thing I have to say about this collection here is that I'd already read quite a few of the stories on her blog. So while this was fantastic and I'm still very happy to have this physical copy, I was kind of hoping for more new material. If you're already a fan of Ali's work, then you probably want to pick this up. I don't know, it'd kind of be a judgment call. There is some new stuff, but there is some old stuff. And if you're not a fan of Ali's work already, you haven't checked her out yet, then I really do recommend doing so. Get this book or just check out her blog. But either way, I think she is hilarious, and if you need a good laugh, Hyperbole and a Half. Oh my god, that should be the slogan. Next up, I read Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. This is about a 17-year-old girl named Sky who has never really been attracted to anyone until she meets Dean Holder. Something about him captivates her, but there's something he's not telling her, and she is determined to unravel this mystery. This was my first Colleen Hoover book, and now I see what all the hype is about. I love the writing style, like I was so hooked into it and I just flew through this book. And I loved the dialogue and the character interactions. There were some really great, funny, touching moments. Now while I did enjoy this book overall, personally, I am just not a big fan of the darker subject matter we were dealing with here. I did enjoy the story, especially the way the mystery unfolded, and I was definitely emotionally affected by this book. But I do prefer my contemporary romances to be more lighthearted than this one was. That being said, this book did still sell me on Colleen Hoover as an author, and I do still want to read something else by her, especially since I've heard that this is like the darkest of her books. So yeah, I will be reading more by Colleen Hoover, and I'm really looking forward to that. And finally, I read Fairest by Marissa Meyer. This is a prequel to the Lunar Chronicle series that focuses on the antagonist, Queen Lavanna. Now, I already ranted in my book haul about how I felt it was misleading to say this was a full-length novel with full color art, because both of those things are only barely kind of true. But if we're just talking about the content, just the words in this book, this was a fantastic read. I'm not going to talk about the events that happen in this book because I don't want to give you any spoilers, but it was so fascinating to see things from Levana's point of view. Like, reading this made me feel bad for her, but it also showed me just how twisted and messed up she is. Like, obviously she is a villain and she's not likable. I don't think she's redeemable, but seeing this layer of complexity to her character was so wonderful. It made me feel for her, but it also made me hate her even more. And I cannot wait for winter. Like, this has me so excited for winter, especially because now I understand more of the relationships between Levana and Cinder and Winter, and I want that book, and every day I die a little inside waiting for it. That might be a little bit dramatic, but like, I really, really want winter. But yeah, if you like the Lunar Chronicles, then I definitely suggest giving this a read before winter comes out. It was good stuff, okay? Like, it might technically be skippable, but I don't suggest skipping it. Read it. You should read it. But yeah, that is gonna be it. Those were the 9 books I finished in January, and that is all I had for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great night, and I will have another video up soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye! But yeah, I'll go ahead and put all the blah 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 blah. It was too funny. And finally, I read Fairest by Marissa. Then I do recommend this novel. Ow. No, behave. You're heavy. Uh-oh. 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 Oh.